Hi guys, so welcome to the in-drive of the Staria. So the car I'm driving is the Hyundai Staria multi-cab. Just excuse the background noise, there's a cricket match happening here. And no, I did not transport the entire team in this car, although they probably would fit. Let's start off with the exterior of this Hyundai Staria. As you can see, I'm going around it and it has a very striking look. Some might say it's a bullet train, others might say it's a van or MPV. So if you are looking here from the side, it's quite long. It is longer than its predecessor, the H1. At the bottom you can see there is 17-inch alloy wheels. It looks decent, although it does look a bit small. And then let's just go around the back. You can see there the Staria badge. So this is a 2.2 diesel. As you can notice here, since we're at the back, let me show you the boot. It's a side hinge tailgate. You press this here and then it opens, and there we've got the boot. So this is why it's called a multi-cab. Here are some seats, although that one is a bit more slanted than this one here, so this one is more comfortable. So let's actually just go inside. If anyone is sitting here, maybe if you want to put your kids at the back, then if you are sitting in front, you can hear. So it's not soundproof, so you can hear quite nicely what's happening. I said it's a 2.2 diesel. So here's the fuel tank. It does have a 75 litre fuel tank, so the range is quite good. You can get at least 700 kilometers on the tank. You can see it's a leather interior, so it's basically a flat center. You can actually fit 4 people in here. You can see the leg room, it's very sufficient. It's quite long, and then here is a handle if you want to open. Yeah, so you do it is a bit on the heavy side. You can put 2 bottle holders. There is something over here. It looks very thin. Not sure what you can fit there. You can put something here, but there's a risk of it falling out. There's no pouches, no USB ports at the back. Before I go to the front, there is pouches there. So here you do have there is a camera. So here it's not a 360 camera. It's basically you can see behind you. You got automatic brake hold. You have 3 different drive modes: normal, sport and eco. You also have a smart mode, so it's actually 4 drive modes. So you got your air conditioning, your gears over here. You do have 2 USB ports, another compartment there, another compartment down there. So the compartments, they are quite generous. So down there's a compartment as well. And then here we can have a look at the steering wheel. You do have cruise control. You do have your normal audio controls here. And then it's not all around electric windows, so it's electric windows in the front only. For the driver you have automatic, for the passenger you don't. There's your instrument cluster, it is completely digital, and there's your infotainment system. Okay, so this is the front seat opened. So you can see at the bottom it's really generous. There's another section on the top here, and there's something inside here. So you've actually got like a triple story, 1, 2, 3. And then before we go in, you can see this is how the driver's seat looks. It's not automatically adjustable. So I'm in a very comfortable driving position at the moment. The view you get is phenomenal. You do feel like you're driving a spaceship. Okay, not that you're going up in space, but you do have a lot of space in here. And yeah, now that we're in the driving seat, how about we go for a drive? I think that's a good idea. So let's go. Let's get all the technicalities out of the way, and then we can actually discuss who is this car for, who isn't it for, you know, a few nice things or a few disadvantages about this car as well. So looking at stats, the power is 130 kilowatts and 430 newton meters of torque. So in terms of power and torque, the car has enough to play with. It's a 2.2 diesel. You know, if you're looking for that extra oomph on the long road, you put it in sport mode, you can easily overtake. And not to say that on the normal mode you can't. So you can actually do it on the normal mode, but if you need to go a bit quicker, then I would say use the sport mode. The price of this car is 765,000, so it definitely is priced amongst its competitors. You're looking at the previous one is the H1. You've got the Kia Carnival, which is also an MPV. That's also priced in the same range. Like it starts entry range at 800,000, goes up to $1 million. The Carnival. Then you've got the Opel Zafira, which is also around 800 to $1 million. So all the cars in this MPV segment, it is priced in there, so you got quite a wide variety of choice. So in terms of features wise, price wise, you got a good selection. Okay, and the last of the numbers is the fuel consumption. So Opel, I keep saying Opel, Hyundai claims that it's 8.7 liters per 100. On the long road you can get it under 7. I did take this car on quite a drive, which spanned about 230 or 240 kilometers, and the car actually performed well at between 6.7 to 6.9 on the long road. If you couple that with city driving, I'd say that the 8.7 liters per 100 kilometers is a good estimation, depending on how, like, the reason you bought this car. Will you be using it for day-to-day driving as well, or will you mainly be doing it long road? So if you are doing it on the long road, you should get under 7, but if you are doing city driving as well, it'll probably be close to the combined fuel consumption that was estimated by Hyundai. Maybe it'll be a bit higher, maybe a bit lower, depending on your ratio of driving. Okay, so now that we got all the technicalities out of the way, let's actually talk about this car from a practical point of view. Firstly, this is the multi-cab. So you basically got 2 rows. You got the front row and the middle row. So the middle row, you can actually fit 4 passengers. Although it's a 3-seater, you can fit 4 because it's very, very long and wide. And here in the front, well, you could have fitted 3, because the gap between the passenger and the driver, there's actually, if you look in the 9-seater, the one with 3 rows, you can actually put a seat. They actually put a seat here, and you can fit another passenger here. So I think from a practical point of view, this is wasted space in the middle. I mean, the handbrakes are not even here, so it's basically a big dead space. I would have liked an armrest here. If you are looking for a car like this, of this size, whether it's a multi-cab or the 9-seater, are you buying it for long road driving, or are you buying it for day-to-day driving, for transport of passengers? Are you taking people on tours and travels? Why are you buying this car? Or do you just have a big family and you want to use it for that purpose? I really like to know what's the reason you're buying this car, or why would you consider, even if you're not buying it, if you could just think, if you would buy this car, what would be reasons for buying it? It's okay for day-to-day driving and short durations, like if you maybe half an hour or less, or maybe if you stretch it an hour. Now this is totally my experience. I mean, yours could differ, because you'll see why. So I did take this car on a fairly long road, and after about, I'd say, an hour of sitting in the seat, it did get a bit uncomfortable, especially towards the lower back section. So I would say, to take this car on a long road trip, it might be a bit compromising. You'd probably have to put a pillow, or something just to supplement the seat itself, to make it a bit more comfortable. That's just, I mean, that's from a personal point of view, but I think I should point this out, because anyone that's looking to buy the car, it's something you need to consider. And the lack of the armrest is really felt on the long road. You have to almost keep both your arms on the wheel. Obviously, it is recommended from a driving point of view, but sometimes if you are on the long road, if you want to make use of the cruise control and those functions, then you want an armrest, and to be able to be in a good, put this arm down, to be in a good seating position. I am short, so my right arm doesn't reach the armrest on the side very nicely. Maybe that's a problem because I'm short, but I think just the design of the front cabin could have been a bit better in terms of a comfort point of view. And because of the size of this car, many people will probably be using it for longer driving, and you'd want to be more comfortable on the long road. If you're using it 10 minutes to a half an hour, you can compromise with a few things, because you wouldn't really have enough time to get uncomfortable. But if you are on the long road, there is time to get uncomfortable, and then you will notice these small things about the car. In terms of spaciousness, it's very, very spacious. There's more than enough room for the passengers, for the people at the back. You got your wireless charging in the front, as you have seen in the interior. The smoothness of the drive is there, so it's a very comfortable drive. It's a comfortable drive from if you're talking from on the road. So it's smooth. Because of the size of the car, it is heavy, so when you hit bumps, you have to go a bit slower over the speed bumps. It does bump a bit, so if you're hitting blemishes, you actually can feel the blemishes quite a bit in the road. Another thing to note, you get excellent visibility in the front. I mean, it's really, really nice. On the sides, the windows are a bit big, so maybe some people might find privacy a bit of an issue. And then people who do have the Hyundai H1, would you upgrade to this Staria? Do you find that the features included in the Staria are good enough to warrant an upgrade? I'd really love to hear your thoughts below. As I'm driving, I do see a lot of these Hyundai H1s around, and also the Starias. They're quite popular as rental cars and for tourists that are coming here. So you see a lot of people using the Staria. So I'm not sure if are people renting the car, or do people actually buy it to own. With a lot of competition in the market, speaking about the Kia Carnival, you got the Opel Zafira, you also got the predecessor of this, the Hyundai H1, and you've got the Hyundai Staria. Which MPV are you drawn to? And would you actually like to see a comparison video between maybe the Zafira and this one, or the Carnival and the Zafira, or the Carnival and the Staria, or would you actually like to see a comparison video amongst all three? If you do, please put a comment below, and I'll make a comparison video for you guys if I get enough comments about it. So that's it for the video. Please give it a like if you have enjoyed it. If you guys would like me to change up the style of the video, let me know. Or you just want a full drive only, please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my content and if you enjoy these kind of videos. And like this video, share it with your friends, and I will see you guys in next week's video.